Her name was Cynthia Gray, a 24-year-old single mother with dreams far bigger than her quiet life. Her baby, Emma, was just 6 months old. Bright eyes. The kind of smile that could melt anyone's heart. But that night, November 12, 1992, would destroy everything Cynthia knew. Because when she woke up the next morning, the crib was empty. Cynthia's scream shattered the dawn. Neighbors ran outside. Police cars arrived within minutes. But the baby was gone. No broken locks, no footprints in the dirt, nothing. Detective Alan Bishop, a stern man with a reputation for cutting corners, was assigned the case. And from the start, he didn't believe Cynthia. No signs of forced entry, he said, arms crossed. Single mother. No witnesses. Sometimes stress makes people do terrible things. The look on Cynthia's face, disbelief, fear, anger, was something no mother should ever feel. They questioned her for hours. They searched her home, her car, her friends' houses. By the end of the week, the police had shifted their focus from finding a missing baby to blaming her mother. Within a month, the local paper called her the mother who cried wolf. Her job fired her. Her landlord evicted her. And the small community that once smiled at her in grocery lines now whispered behind her back. Cynthia stayed in that town for years, holding on to a single photo of baby Emma. Every birthday, she'd light a candle. Every night, she'd pray for a miracle that never came. But the real truth, the terrifying truth, was out there all along. And it wouldn't reveal itself until 30 years later. Fast forward to 2022. A college student named Maya Ross, 30 years old, living just 2 towns away, logged into a genealogy site out of curiosity. She wanted to learn about her roots, to see if her ancestors came from Africa, Europe, or maybe the islands. But what she found instead stopped her cold. A message popped up on the screen. You share 99.98% DNA with Cynthia Gray. Maya blinked. That's impossible, she whispered. Her mother, Karen, had told her she was adopted, that her birth parents had died in a car crash. But this was something else entirely. Maya drove straight to her mother's house. Heart pounding. Maya, Mom, why does my DNA match a woman named Cynthia Gray? Karen, frozen. Where did you see that? Maya. Answer me, Mom. Who is she? Karen sat down, trembling. Years of secrets catching up all at once. Tears filled her eyes as she whispered. You were never supposed to find out. Maya's world began to crumble. Her entire life, the home, the love, the story she'd been told, suddenly felt like a lie. 2 days later, Maya drove to Cynthia's small home, clutching that printed DNA result in her hands. When Cynthia opened the door, she froze. It was like looking into a mirror. Same eyes, same smile. Maya. I think I'm your daughter. Cynthia, whispering. Emma. The 2 women fell into each other's arms, sobbing. 30 years of pain, gone in a single embrace. Cynthia couldn't believe it. The baby who vanished from her crib was alive. But as the shock began to settle, the questions began to rise. If Maya was alive, then who took her? And why? Detective Alan Bishop, the same man who once accused Cynthia, was now long retired. But when the case hit the news again, he made a statement that sent chills down everyone's spine. That case was closed years ago. Some things are better left buried. It didn't sit right with Maya. So she started digging, through police records, hospital logs, even newspaper archives. And one name kept showing up where it shouldn't. Dr. Harold Monroe, the hospital's head pediatrician in 1992. He'd gone missing a few months after the baby's disappearance. And rumor had it, he ran a private adoption network for couples willing to pay for newborns. Maya brought her findings to the authorities, who reopened the investigation. The deeper they dug, the darker it got. Turns out Karen, the woman who raised Maya, had been one of those clients. She couldn't have children, and Monroe had told her the baby's mother didn't want her. Cynthia had been painted as a monster. But in truth, she was the victim of a system built to profit off her pain. And as that realization sank in, Cynthia made a choice. She wasn't just going to forgive. She was going to fight back. The courtroom was packed. Reporters filled every seat. Cynthia Gray, The woman once labeled a liar, stood tall, holding her daughter's hand. Across the room sat Karen, her face pale with guilt, and the retired detective who'd failed her. Cynthia spoke softly, her voice trembling but strong. "You took my life. You took my child. But you can't take my strength anymore." The crowd fell silent. Even the judge looked moved. The case made national headlines, sparking outrage, reform, and a public apology from the local police department. Justice, finally, had begun to turn its wheels. But just as the world thought the story was over, a new file surfaced. A young journalist contacted Maya late one night. He said he'd uncovered something that would change everything. "You think Dr. Monroe ran a baby trafficking ring?" he asked. "What if I told you your biological father was part of it too?" Maya's heart stopped. The screen flickered as the man sent her a photograph. A group picture of doctors at the hospital in 1992. There, standing beside Dr. Monroe, was her mother's former boyfriend. The man Cynthia thought she could trust. Maya whispered, "No, that can't be." The image glowed on her laptop screen, and below it, a handwritten note. It wasn't just about the baby. It was about the secret she carried. To be continued. Subscriber for more.